guys? My name is Chris Tutela. Once again, alongside my good friend, colleague, and creepy co-host,
Ruben Borges.
And today, for episode number 54, we have a very special guest on today's show. He is none other than
Ronald Salermo,
Ronaldinho, baby. Dude,
Master.
this has been a long time in the making. We've been trying to get you on the show for the last 4 months, but you're a very busy man. But thank you for taking the time to finally get up here and get on the show.
Thank you. My wife gave me permission.
Okay. Good to hear it. Glad to hear it. So, Ron, how long have you been training here now?
Almost 4 years.
Almost 4 years. Dude, it's crazy how time flies, right?
Yeah.
Ron is a savvy veteran here now. Almost 4 years training at TTS. What I want to kind of go back and talk about for everybody watching this is, where you were before you started here. Like, what was your life like, and what brought you here in the first place? Because I'll tell you what, before you answer that question, like, we didn't really have like the marketing stuff figured out yet. We were in the very early stages of just learning how to bring new people in and whatnot. So, what kind of attracted you here in the first place?
Well, my background as far as physical training is zero.
Mm-hmm.
As a kid growing up, I played a little league baseball, but that was about it. No weight training experience. Never saw that in my family growing up. Like, never witnessed my dad or mom going to the gym or my siblings going to the gym. So zero experience. High school, I wasn't in any team sports or anything like that. So again, zero experience. Got into the public safety field in 2010, and I noticed I was just completely out of shape, way overweight, had no good eating habits whatsoever. So I was just kind of lost, and I kind of wanted to just better myself, and I started going to the gym on my own. I print out workout plans or whatnot, and just not doing anything right. Wasn't seeing any results. Wasn't getting any better specifically at anything.
Well, at least you got it started. You started at least. All right, I got to do something.
Yeah.
So at least, okay.
So I met Chris through the Springfield Fire.
Through the Fire Academy, right?
Through the Fire Academy and the fire department.
Okay.
And I know you had told me that you had your own place, your own training facility, and I looked into it. I wasn't really too serious about it. Maybe about a year later is when I finally reached out to you, and I was like, I'm not getting anywhere. I need to try something. So reached out to you. We set something up, and I remember my first day. I was very nervous. I'd never been to a facility like a group training aspect, and I just loved it. From that one day, loved it. At first, it was very difficult getting acclimated to. Of course, being really sore, tired.
Yeah.
Just getting through those first workouts. And actually, never forget something you told me was that, no matter how tired, no matter, how sleepy you feel, as long as you just, get through that front door, it'll take care of the rest.
Yeah.
And it's always been proven true. No matter what lack of sleep I've had, no matter what time of day it is, I get through those doors. There's always a positive mindset here. A good group of guys or girls that are gonna push you and help you get through those sets and get that workout out.
It's like just show up, right?
Yeah. Just show up.
That's half the battle. I mean, it's a large part of the battle, right? It's just getting here. That's why I'm glad that stuck with you, because that's such an important thing. I think for most people, it's a huge takeaway for most people watching this. Yeah. When you don't feel like doing it, you're tired, I just don't feel like it today. It's just choosing, let me just show up. Let me warm up a little bit. Let me break a little bit of a sweat and see how I feel. If I really still feel that bad, I could just go home. Because I think I probably told you that too. The door's there. So if you get here and you're just not feeling it, all right, write this day off, go home. But at least stick to the commitment of just showing up here. Yeah. And that's 4 years later.
At that point, I've never gone home. I've lived here.
And I will say, Ron is someone that, a lot of people, we have a lot of things to do in life. I don't have the time, this and that. For you, you did whatever it took to make the time. Because I know your schedule was all over the place. I would see you at 5 a.m. I would see you at 6:30 p.m. I see you at 9 a.m. And that just shows your work ethic and dedication on that. Like, I just knew I was going to see you sometime, and I would see you, I swear, sometimes I felt it was like 12 hours apart almost.
Yeah.
And I was like,
No, you're right.
I was like, yeah, it was the only time I can make it today, so I'm making it. And that's awesome on you, and that's something that I think everyone sees around here, and you definitely motivate them by just always showing up, and you're awesome.
So I don't know anybody anymore.
Huh?
I'm at the 5 a.m., at the 6
Yeah.
a.m., the 9 a.m., at the 5:30.
And everyone knows you.
Yeah, that's it. You're like the mayor of TTS.
As I say, wherever you go, there you are.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. So now, talk to me a little bit about what your goal was. So, like, I know you just wanted to get into the swing of things with fitness, but what was the overall goal? I know we had something pretty specific for you when you first started here, right?
Well, yeah. During my, the beginnings at the public safety job, I was sent to the fire academy. It was a requirement.
Right.
And honestly, I was like just a little curious about it. Never like wanted to really be a fireman or anything like that.
Right.
I was never exposed to that. I've always been in family business, so I never had exposure to that field. Once I was sent to the fire academy, which is nothing like what I went through now, but it's something that I realized that was my dream. Like I really wanted to be a fireman. So it took me, I guess, all of 9 years to get to that.
Wow.
Yeah, 9 years. 36 years old by the time I got on the job. But
Which,
no
you
hesitation.
recently got hired. How long ago? How long have you been a fireman now?
Actually, just over a year. January 7th was my 1 year. My probationary period is
That's
over.
amazing. Congratulations, bro. Congratulations. Fantastic.
Yeah.
So okay. So when you first came here, you got sent to the fire academy, and you realized what, that you were just out of shape, and that you needed to do a little bit more for your training.
Yeah,
I know
it
we
was
talked
after-
about that was one of the goals for you. Was like, I got to be ready for that test. I got to be ready to I want to be a fireman, and I want
Not just ready for the test, but you just got to be ready to do the job.
Sure.
I mean, people are depending on you. Your fellow coworkers are depending on you.
right.
So if you're showing up somewhere and telling somebody that you're going to help them, and they look at you, and you can barely help yourself,
Right.
you're not going to have a lot of credibility.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
So it's very important, I think, that you keep yourself in the best shape,
Yeah.
and keep yourself prepared and in peak performance. So
That's awesome.
I think that's very important.
That's awesome, man. And now, how did training help you prepare for the job? How did it help you prepare for the test? Because, like I said, I know that was like your goal here was you wanted to become a fireman, right?
Yeah.
So it was like this was like the first step of just physically taking care of that stuff.
Yeah.
Now, how did that help you going through? Because I think there might be some people watching this at home, maybe people who are aspiring firefighters, and they want to get that they want to change careers, and they would love to get on the job. And I know a lot of people would. So, how has physical training helped you in that regard?
Well, first and foremost, you have to have a lot of dedication. You have to have a lot of time and effort put into this. So dedication is a huge part of it. It's the main part of it.
Right.
You have to be willing to dedicate everything you have and give everything you have for your dream goal. Another important aspect is your family. Family is huge. Sometimes there's times where they won't understand why you're doing the things that you're doing, but at the end, when they see the fruits, they understand. So when they see you getting up at 4:30 in the morning or 4 in the morning to go train, they're like, why are you getting up so early?
Right.
Can't you just go later? No, I can't. Can't you just skip a day? No, you can't skip a day. These are things you have to have priorities in life, and your physical health has to be one of the top ones.
Hell yeah.
You would say that dedication kind of carried over to the academy,
Oh,
the test, and
absolutely.
being prepared
Yeah.
for it and
Yeah,
everything,
absolutely.
right? Yeah.
The academy was not pretty. It was very challenging, especially for me.
The
But I
second
got
time
through it.
around? Or the
Yeah.
first time?
Yeah. First academy I went through, as you know, there was no physical training.
Right.
It was like it was 3 or 4 days a week. This was 5 days a week, early mornings, sometimes late days. A lot of physical training.
Okay.
So you have to be ready. You have to be in physical shape. Some people, may kind of ignore that and kind of be paying for that during the academy. Won't be able to handle as much. The recovery time takes a lot longer. Takes more of a toll on them. But if you have that foundation, I think it's going to help you 110%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So coming here prepared me, not even just strength wise, but mobility. You know,
Mm-hmm.
my mobility was a lot of times better.
Right.
Because even as you're getting stronger, you're going to be able to perform
Yeah.
at anything better, be more
Yeah.
athletic, and things like that. Especially when you have like a set base. I think it goes a long way. I think some people don't know they have trouble on where to start, and sometimes like, hey, just get strong on the basic movements, and you'll get better at everything else.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Start somewhere first, and then that thing that you're training for, to be ready to perform, you just set yourself a nice base. You're strong. Let's go. Let's perform.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's how you were feeling while you were there. You kind of felt, I'm sure you're just a little extra ahead everyone else with that, which is
Yeah.
pretty cool. And that's to you, man, being dedicated to coming here, training consistently, being strong, and giving yourself that base to get ready for it.
Yeah, let me ask you this, Ron. So the first time you went through the academy, you had no physical training here, right? You weren't training
Nowhere.
Right, nowhere, right? So it was brand new. So you had to just really learn what it was like to put all that gear on, and doing the live burn training, and your time with a bottle on your back. How long did you last? All that stuff. Like, if you had to compare it to when you did the academy for the second round,
Oh, yeah.
and now you were training with us for probably 3 years before you went to the academy round 2, right? How did your body feel when now you're putting that gear on, you're putting the bottles in, you're doing the live burns? How did you feel conditioning wise with the amount of time it took you to suck down one of those bottles? And how did you feel physically with just, being able to carry that load, pull hose up flights of steps, carry heavy stuff, go onto a roof and cut it, operating power equipment on a roof and all that stuff? Because there's no easy task for, I've had my share of training, and I know that stuff is not easy. So how did you feel second round?
110 times better, like 110% better.
And did you do any of that stuff between like the first time and then the second time? Was it just a gap? Was it just training?
It was just training.
Okay.
So when I went through the first time, I was 28 years old, and way overweight, like completely out of shape. I've never felt honestly younger, in my life, or better than I do like where I'm standing right now. Like,
Wow.
I feel
Okay.
the best. I feel like the best I've ever felt in my life.
That's amazing.
Physically, yeah. Mental state, I'm in a peak mental state in my life right now.
That's awesome.
I'm just extremely happy and grateful for where I'm at right now.
That's so amazing, man.
Yeah. So yeah, 100 times better.
Yeah.
Reversing age.
Yeah.
Reversing the aging
It can
process.
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta start
Possible.
selling your blood, bro. We might be able to make a little fortune over here. So now that you are a career fireman, you achieved your dream, right? Some people might say, "What are you still training for?" Right? How would you answer that?
Well, you have to be a fireman. You have to stay in shape.
Yeah.
You have to, you have to be ready.
Yeah.
People depend on you. Your coworkers, like I said before, coworkers, your brothers are depending on you, and you just have to stay. You have to stay in shape.
Yeah.
Yeah. You always got to be on the ready.
No doubt, man. No doubt. And I feel like it helps you so much, on the job. Like even the day-to-day tasks. Like it might not even be fighting a fire. I think a lot of people may be unfamiliar with the tasks that you actually do over the course of a shift, right? When you go to work every day,
Yeah.
it's not like there's fires every single day, right? You
No,
get your
no.
share of them, right? But there's a lot of other stuff you do, operating the scene of a motor vehicle accident, carrying and operating heavy tools. That stuff's not light with all this gear on. Again, you have to be physically capable and ready to be able to operate that stuff efficiently, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, and just make
Balance, you're
Mhm.
carrying
Coordination.
one tool on one side heavier than the other.
sure. Right,
Something similar to like a one-sided farmer's walk that we might do.
right.
To build that stuff up, to build your core up. You're in all different types of predicaments all the time. Not always the craziest things. Stuff like residential lockouts where you have to climb into a window.
Right, but still difficult if you don't have body awareness. Those things are more challenging.
Absolutely.
Right.
Flexibility,
Right.
mobility takes part in that. And if you don't have that, you're gonna have a hard time.
You
Yeah.
said it before too. Other people depend on you now, right?
Yeah.
You're in a team. It's a
And you
culture.
can't make your crew look bad either.
Yeah, you want your guy have your back, and you have your guy's back.
Yeah.
What would you say has been most beneficial? Like training here obviously is very different than just training on your own. So somebody who says to you, well, I just train on my own, I do my own thing. What would you say to them, versus what you do here? Like, how has this been different for you?
Well, what I noticed is that, they'll particularly get good at one thing. Like, for example, benching.
A bench press, right?
A bench press or a squat or a barbell deadlift. Where here, we're covering every basis. We're covering that balance, like we're talking about, the mobility. We're training, honestly, muscles that I never knew I even had. Like,
right.
The proper technique. I mean, that's a huge thing. Like, when I first started here, I didn't even know how to do a proper push-up.
Most people don't. Most people don't.
And I said, and when you were telling me, like, no, this guy's crazy. Like, and I can only do maybe, I probably couldn't even get 10, I can't remember how many I did, but I probably couldn't get 10 good push-ups. And now I'm getting, a lot more proper push-ups, proper technique where you're actually working, the muscles that you need to work.
Yeah.
So,
that's awesome.
And preventing injury at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great point, too, that we didn't mention. I'm happy you brought that up because, when you are training the right way and you're strengthening certain movement patterns, that is the best way to prevent injury. Now, of course, are you completely bulletproof to injury? No, right? But there's things that happen. But a lot of these small soft tissue injuries and tears and things that most people kind of suffer from, activities on the job, a lot of them could be avoided if you were, training the right way and strengthening the right musculature and training the joints in the right way to prevent that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's important for a lot of people to see. Like it's more than just looking pretty and putting up a bigger number on a bench press. Although that stuff is fun, right? But it's like there's a better byproduct to all of this as well.
There's a saying that if you don't use it, you lose it, right?
Yeah, you learned that the hard way.
But in regards to training and joint integrity, that isn't true. If you don't use it, if you don't keep training, you will lose it. You lose that joint integrity. You lose your muscular gains and like things like that, and that'll prevent you from bulletproofing your body too, with sustaining less injuries and being able to perform better. And to go back, because someone did ask you like, why are you still training? Well, that's the reason, right? It's daily living. It's part of my daily living. I want to be able to perform on a daily basis and prevent myself from injury.
Yeah. And just be healthy, right? Like cardiovascular health. And, the cardiovascular disease is the leading cause of death for firefighters, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
And that's usually attributed to poor nutrition, right? Firehouse eating is usually not the best thing, but also just lack of exercise, right? And I think that it's important to get the word out there for people because everybody knows, okay, in order for me to prevent cardiovascular disease, I need to exercise, I need to eat better. But still nobody does it, right? What has really helped you stick to the game plan as far as physical exercise, something you never did in your life? What has really helped you, what's been one of the biggest contributors to you sticking around over here and training here for the last 4 years?
Look, I get this question asked a lot, like, why don't you just join a regular gym, pay $20 a month, and just do it on your own? And the only answer I can really give them is that I honestly just like coming here.
Yeah.
I like the setting where I come here, I walk through that door, I got great coach like Ruben, great coach like yourself, or like James, and, they're pushing me through. I got a huge team here, right? Just pushing me through this workout, coaching me, If I make a mistake, I got Ruben, hey, you're doing that wrong. This is how you should do it. I have the workout right on the board right there. I don't have to worry
think about it
with my busy schedule about making a workout plan.
Right.
I don't have to worry about, taking longer than an hour out of my day to get the full effects of what somebody gets with a 2 or 3 hour workout in the gym, wasting time playing on their cell phone. So that's a huge key. Some people want to spend money on whatever habits they have. I like to spend it here. So for anybody that wants to judge me on that aspect, then you're more welcome to it. Haters are going to hate.
Haters going to hate. That's the quote of the day right there, baby. No, I love that, man. Because this it's an investment in you. And a lot of people, like you said, will invest in spending money on, and the crazy thing about it, too, is like, when people say, whether it's this gym or a gym in Nebraska, like wherever, I'm not just trying to convince you to come here, right? That's not the point. But, people will spend $200, $300, $400, $500 in a night drinking booze and partying but they think like $200 a month is like, oh my God, am my health, am my fitness, am my strength? You mean like that's, it's a very little amount of money when you look at like per training. We charge less than $20 a month per training session here and what you get here, right? And you get all this other stuff. And that's what people don't see. It's like, yeah, you could pay $10 a month, $20 a month, go to a public gym. You're just gonna waste your time. How many people do you actually see getting results in places like that? The number is very small.
It sure wasn't me.
Right, the number is very, very small, man. So like that's why it's important. Like you want to get results, right? You want to do it safely. You want to get stronger. You want to get leaner. You want to be healthier, and also developing the relationships that you develop here, man. I mean, I think that's one of the most important things for everybody as a whole, right?
I mean, if I could pay $20 a day to have Ruben as a friend.
That's it.
Yeah. Part of that during downtime, we talk about really crazy things. To make sure we're both
be careful, we're recording.
But to go back, you say like some people like, you know, they ask you these questions like, oh, why do you still train there? Also, for people that are like that, like, why do you care? Like, oh, awesome, you do, you enjoy it, sweet.
Right.
You know, like if someone's telling me, hey, you know, whether it's yoga or something to better themselves, like,
You
awesome.
say yogurt?
That's great. Yoga.
I thought you said yogurt too.
Yoga.
He's thinking about yogurt. He's thinking about,
Must be hungry. You know, be happy for them. Be kind.
Yeah.
And understand that this person is not doing nothing. And obviously, it's something within themselves. They're probably upset at themselves for not being so invested in themselves.
I would say even sometimes they just don't. They haven't experienced it, so they can't really make a really good assessment.
Well, it's also like, what is, you could always say like, what has your progress been like? You know, if you've made zero progress in the last 4 years, great, here's my progress. I made a shit ton, right? But it's also like, you're learning skills here. You're learning a lot too. Like, I pay a monthly payment to a jiu-jitsu school, right? I could go on YouTube and teach myself jiu-jitsu. Is it going to be the same thing? Absolutely not. I could roll around my fucking pillow, but is it going to be the same thing? No.
No
right?
chance.
Yeah,
You cannot call yourself a black belt.
right. I have to go and I have to learn and hands-on experience, and that's what a lot of people don't see. But I just, you know, I don't want to spend too much more time on that. But
YouTube videos of giving yourself a black belt.
Yeah.
Like to honor myself with this after a year.
I got it in 6 months. 6 months, I got my black belt. Let me ask you this. You've been here from just about the beginning, right? Like we still had the green turf in here, red walls.
Yeah.
You've seen that turf go from being fresh to having holes in it, sweat stains,
Green Monster.
the Green Monster, and now to, you know, what this has turned into. I mean, when you started, there was probably only 30 people in here or something like that. Now we have over 150. You know, when you take a look back at the evolution of this place, how has that changed for you? How has that affected you, and like, what are some of the biggest noticeable differences that you've seen?
Getting a class spot for the 5 a.m. That's the hardest
They're
part.
maniacs. They're
The equipment, bar none, like there's equipment in here that I've never seen anywhere else. Like your Renegade bar, stuff like that.
Yeah,
like just equipment. I mean,
A lot of variations.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stuff that you're not gonna get everywhere else.
Yeah, sure. There's been a lot of changes over the years, and it's just I'm just curious to ask you, like from your perspective, sitting on the other side of the fence, like what that's been like for you. And you know, I'm just happy you didn't say that my training sucks now because there's so many fucking people. I'm
No. Absolutely. I mean, well, you're getting more people in here because people are seeing the results.
Right.
They're seeing that it works. They're seeing that the place is awesome. I mean, what else can you say? You have top-notch equipment, top-notch coaches, top-notch like customers too. Like the people that sign up here are great people.
Yeah.
Turn out to be almost like family.
You talk about that 5 a.m. crew, but yeah, like it builds this culture amongst each other. It's really awesome to like not only that they're here, but also for us to coach. It's awesome coaching guys that like are all about it. You know, throwing the fist bumps around, banging and clanging.
Yeah,
you name it, man.
But also like the workouts that you come up with in your routine here. Bulgarian this, Bulgarian that. It's always the hardest one.
See him
Anything that comes from the Middle East.
Things I've never heard of. You know, like
we gotta call it rear foot elevated split squat. Nice. That sounds nicer. I think I'll do that.
Russian email hacks.
We got it all. We got it all over here, baby. Well, Ron, it's great to finally have you on the show, man. And I just want to say that I'm super proud of you for how far you've come you've made an incredible transformation and improvements in so many different areas, not just physically, dude, but mentally. Like, I see a difference in you, and you're just growing, you know, for the better, man. So it's really, I'm happy to have you. I couldn't be happier to have you as part of this family, man. So thank you so much for all your support.
Absolutely, Ron. Thank you. You're amazing. And I'll pay you $25.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There you go. $22.50. Ron,
Price is right.
before we wrap up today, you have somebody who is at home watching this right now, and they are an aspiring firefighter. They want us to just start making progress. What advice do you have for them?
Basically, don't quit on your dream. Don't give up. I almost met the deadline. I was actually past the deadline with my age. I was 35 years old. I got hired at 36 years old. Don't give up on a dream. Do everything you have to do. Don't quit. Keep going at it. Stay in shape. Get your mindset where, cut the negativity out of your life. Cut negative people out of your life if you have to. As much as it hurts, just only have a supportive group. Support yourself. Believe in yourself. Take care of yourself. Eat good. Exercise good. Also enjoy time with your family. Always got to have some time for your family and friends. And just don't quit. Don't give up on the dream. Be a better person. And just always realize that people are always going to depend on you, so you have to be ready.
Dude, we got to get you on Maury. We got to get you on Maury Povich. That was amazing. Yeah. Well, Ron, thank you again for coming on, man. I really appreciate it. And yeah, guys, if you have any questions for me, you can always reach out on Instagram. At Chris_Tutela. It's Tutela. And don't forget to tune in every Friday to the Iron Life podcast, anywhere podcasts are available. So don't forget, head over on iTunes, click the subscribe button. That's the Iron Life podcast. Coach, where can these guys find you?
Guys, you can find me on Instagram at _Ruben, RUBEN_BORGES. Guys, feel free to ask me any questions.
Yeah, and also just get ready to see Ruben in his towel doing his posing prep for
Every
his
Friday.
contest. Yeah. Next week is going to be his glutes, so
Every
get
Friday.
ready.
New towels.
Ron, is there any place these guys could reach out to you, or are you just kind of like...
Just see me in the streets.
just see him in the streets. That's all. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll catch you next week on another episode of
TTS Talk.
Peace.